Hi guys, welcome back to another important video. In this video, we're going to talk about gold, long-term targets of gold. What is this diagram on the left? I'm sure many of you have never seen such a diagram in your trading journey. So earlier this year, I shared a target, long-term targets of gold on my Twitter channel. If you want to follow it, the link is in the description. What did I share? I shared that the upper targets when gold started to rally, I shared this diagram as well as the upper targets 3114, 3589, 4297. It's clear everyone knows that gold and silver have been rallying like mad. And this mad rally is fueled by global shortages or some supply side issues, whatever it may be. But we have hit the upside target of 4297. This is gold XAE USD, which is pegged with the dollar. Well, you can see this for your MCX also, your Indian futures also. It does not matter. It's just an instrument. Gold rates, you can compare it online using your currency converters. Now, here, I wanted to explain this diagram, the diagram which I shared earlier this year. Also, some explanation on to what is this and how I use it now. Like I said earlier, many of you don't know what this is and will not study it because for a normal retailer, all these diagrams, fancy levels of understanding price and time is not required for your daily trading activities. People like me, those who are more interested in research in the markets, those who want to find an edge which nobody else has, right? It takes a lot of effort and thinking out of the box. Anyway, point here is that last time when I shared this, we were over here, right? We are breaking out at this level here. And the point here of mentioning this area of prices because we triggered a major move from 2023. Before we go deeper into this diagram, let me explain what is the basis of this. Why am I researching based on these circles, many circles here? If you look at these shapes, these are sacred geometry shapes, sacred geometry, ancient geometry, similar. All right. These exist in nature. The higher degrees of understanding geometry, other than your rectangle, square, triangle, beyond that 3D, 4D, 5D figures. Here, if you look at this seed of life, this shape is what we are currently using here, right? If you just generally look at it, it's some part of it looks like that. Okay. We are using one of the sacred geometry shapes. If you say that, why only this? If they're all interconnected, they are all interconnected, all these geometry shapes. If you look at the logo of Retail Army, it will look something like this, right? The logo in the beginning of the intro, if you see, it looks something like this. Now, this exact thing can be converted to this. This exact thing can be converted to this. This also can be converted to this. They're all similar. Just if I draw this one line here, and if I draw something like this, you can see that it resembles this diagram on bottom. This one resembles something like this. Now, this seed of life, if I draw more circles, we will end up in this flower of life. All right. Now, this fruit of life with Metatron's cube, just draw these lines, connect them, and you get something like this, right? So all these sacred geometry shapes are interconnected, and it is not something which you will see in everyday life. Sacred Hindu temples all over the world, or any temples back then, like I said, these are ancient geometry shapes. You can see that these are the basic shapes: tetrahedron, cubes, octagons. Let me zoom in. I think this image be better if I zoom in. Yeah, right. So all these shapes are your 3D figures, right? Your 3D figures. Then we move on to the ancient geometry shapes. These are all used in your temples, building of temples, how they are aligned with the human body. This is the entrance of the temple, right? If you put a body laying down like this, parallel to the temple layout, it will look like these are chakras and all that. So those are higher levels of consciousness. So sacred geometry is something that is divine in nature. All this, again, like I said earlier, it is not required for a regular retail trader or any small time trader who's looking to just make a small buck out of the market. Here, it is personal choice, those who want to do research, and you can go deeper into stuff of price and time like this. Now, here, What do I want to explain? I want to talk about the longer term targets. Now, longer term targets, we are not talking about next week, next month. We're talking about years ahead. All right. Now, if you look at this point here at the bottom, the smaller arrow, this was part of a larger circle. Okay. This is part of a larger circle. Larger circles give more powerful turns in price. Inside that, there are smaller circles. So smaller circles give your intermediate or shorter term targets or shorter term price movements. When they both collide, they will try to trigger turns in the market. Simple. Now, if I just compare this idea with your astrology. Now, if you go towards astrology, we have the sun in the center. Then we have your inner planets. Correct? We have inner planets. Your Mercury, Venus, Earth. If you want to say Mars also, you can include Mars. And then we have the outer planets, right? Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, all that, so on and so forth. So in astrology also, there are some circles, revolutionary of circles, some smaller triggering the higher. Okay. I'm just giving you some ideas how you can connect it with your regular daily life. Okay. These circles. Now, every time major circles have collided, there has been a major move in the market. So 2023, here there are two major circles, this one on the downside and this big one. So here at this point, there was also a smaller circle. I'll explain to you how we get price levels here. This is time. We got it 2023, sometime in 2023. Same thing, 2020. We all know what happened in 2020. One of the biggest crashes in the markets, 2020 bottom and then rally. Okay. Now, talking about price here, I'm just highlighting this circle. I'll change the color to blue. Okay. So this is the blue circle we are focusing on right now. The distance between the top and the bottom, this is the midpoint level. Okay. This is the midpoint level of the circle. Now, inside this itself, there is another midpoint here. All right. Understood? Inside this again, this upper range, inside this upper range here, there is another midpoint, which will come somewhere here. Okay. So these are harmonics of the range of the circle. Clear? Not confusing. I'm just giving you a different idea, something you have never heard before. So price at exactly this point of time has touched a level, price level. So price has touched an important level. Current price has touched an important level at a specific time, right? This is what is called price and time. Simple. Understood? Good. Now, this is not just one single price level. This has, like I told you, it has a different variations. There's not one simple, we just draw a simple level. It doesn't work like that. You see this upper circle here, this one, this entire range, right? If I take this entire range here, this is the midpoint of this level. So there are more than one reason for price to react. There's more than one reason for price to react from here. Simple. Now, coming to the current market price. Current market price after 2023, we had a blasting move. And now we are at the top level. This was the level I shared to you earlier this year. The level of 4,297. Okay. This is the top level. Now, what are the next levels? So before we go on to the next levels, we must understand one important thing. Where is the time? We must look at time first. Okay. Then we will compare price with that level. So time, next important small time here. If I highlight two circles for you to understand clearly, I'm going to change the color of the circle so you'll understand it better. Okay. So these two circles are meeting at some point here. This is between December 2025 and April 2026. We have a small time zone. Now question here is, what can be the price level? Now we have an important time zone. It's not a major time zone. It is a next significant time zone, right? Major time zones we have between two big circles. These are two small circles. One of the your bigger circle is also there active. That's all. Okay. So now what do? We have some time zone. We have to find what price can the market go at. Now, predicting the price is different. Reacting from a price is different. So here you had to do nothing. You just had to wait for a time zone. Just wait for the price to come. It will touch some time zone. It will give reaction. Simple. Same thing here. We have a time zone. Price will touch it. Price will touch some of the levels and then it will react. You can apply the same thing here. You can apply the same thing on top also. Just wait for price to come and react from some level. So what are those levels? So let's quickly draw these levels. So what is this level here? This is the top of the circle. Let's 4. So these are the upper price levels. 4,792. This is one level. The next level, we already have this level here. We have 4,297. Lower level is already there. So I'll just mark another range here for you. It'll be much easier. This is the level of 4,602. Exactly. Let me just go back to the exact level. Okay, this is 4,617. So basically, this circle has an upper range. Now, why are we drawing an upper range? Because in case price continues to rally fast and harder, right? Now, this lower circle, you see that there is this circle circumference. This is the range here. So what level does this come at? So we're talking about this time zone. Okay. So when we're talking about this time zone, like I showed you, there are harmonics. We can look at harmonics later on, but just for a simple understanding of what price can do here, if market takes resistance here, it can do some correction till the time zone, and then it can plan for the next rally in the market. Simple. If market plans to go higher till your December 2025 or April 2026, we can expect a fall. Beyond this, now let's say if market breaks above this, we have another upper level at 5,270. If you want long term targets like till 2035, something like that, you can look at 5,708. These are extremely long 10-year targets. And beyond that, again, if gold is rallying before time, you get it? So what do I mean by before time? So this is one level, 4,297. And the time for this was 2028. So time for this was 2028. Let me just draw this. You'll understand better. Okay. The time for this level was 2028. The bigger circle. So this is nothing but your price and time squaring. 2028 it should have come. It has come 3 years before. 3 years before. So what can the price do? Can it go completely sideways till 2028 and then trigger a new move? Possible. Why not? Can price retrace fully, then come back up at 2028? Possible. Definitely. Can market go higher and then come back towards 2028? Yes, this is also possible. Okay. So anyway, point here is that we are not trying to predict price in this method. We are trying to react from price level at a specific time zone. All right. Next time zone is December 2025 to April 2026. This is another time zone, and this is where we have to study price. Now, coming to price, studying price. If you look at the monthly chart of gold here, I think I have, it's very clear that we are using wave theory, and I have mentioned this in almost all the videos. Without wave theory, you cannot effectively predict future price movement. So for example, here we know that this is a part of a wave 3. We know that market is in a extended wave 3 here, and then in future we are expecting higher moves to come, because when market moves in wave 3s, top of the market, so we'll talk about one top crash, what will happen. In case market wants to rally higher, what will happen. In case you find any resistance, market will take a correction and then move higher. Simple. Now, if you tell me, sir, this is the top of the market, I'm expecting a crash in the market. If you're expecting a crash, what is going to happen is, after resistance, market will come for a secondary pullback here and then fall. So question is, sir, I don't know whether market is going to go up, market is going to go rally like this, or it is going to give me a secondary rally. I don't know. So what you can do is wait for this dip to come. So there is going to be a dip in the market. Now, for us, as per our analysis, this dip in the market, will it come from your December 2025 to April 2026? Will this make a bottom here and then rally, or will the market make a top in the same time? Will the market make the top and then start a fall towards 2028? All right. So we are using concept of price and time here. All right. So for those who just want the price levels, I've given you all these levels on the upside. These are all based on harmonics of price, different harmonics, sacred geometry levels. All that you can follow. The immediate resistance on top is 46.17, 47.92 level. Okay. Keep that in mind. December is only 1 month away. All right. So price to move 400 points down in gold is $400 in gold is not a big deal. And if it does, very good. If it does not, no issues with that. We can readjust our levels. Okay. So we have these upper levels. I'll just draw one last level here so that this is there. Smaller level. This is a minor level. You can note this level as 3933. Okay. Keep this also in mind in case gold starts to consolidate towards the next few months like this, towards this time zone. If price tries to fall down further, this will be an important level. All right. So these are the levels, guys. Just a small explanation. And if you want to learn something new, something like this, if you definitely like, and for a change, you want to predict some mathematical method of calculating tops and bottoms, check out the video where I've shown that Nifty's bottom, April 7th bottom, how did we calculate it, how to calculate it using the high made in September of 2024. What is the connection between these two? I've shared it in a video. Definitely check it out. I'll see you there.